Hi, my name's Julie Robertson and I'm CEO here at Specialisterne Australia. I just wanted to take a moment today on International Day of People with Disability to actually shout out and acknowledge and celebrate the contribution of people with disabilities around the world and their contribution to our day-to-day lives. I think too often the narrative around people who have disability or a different ability or a different take on life is often negative in its connotation, or it's considered to be a deficit-based conversation, and I think that needs to change. I think that it is changing actually, and I think that that's a good thing. But in terms of people with disability, whether the disability is physical, neurological, psychological, or whether or not the disability is something that the person has had from birth or has acquired over time. People who have disabilities, whether it's physical or invisible in its presentation, have contribution to give and to make to society, and quite often have and will be in business and lives and in sporting or other areas, especially if we think about this year's Paralympics, can be some of the most competitive and can be some of the most highly skilled and talented people that we'll come across. We have the real pleasure and opportunity every day to work with really interesting autistic and neurodiverse individuals in our community. And while for a lot of the time those individuals are often seen to have difficulties and challenges, and probably have experienced that throughout life in terms of their diagnosis, their schooling and their personal experiences, what we have found is that it's really important to celebrate and acknowledge the success, the strength, the value, the abilities and the participation and contribution that individuals can actually offer day to day and in the workplace. Some of the most innovative contributions of the last century in business in particular, in innovation and invention, medical research and science, hasn't come from a person who is neurotypical, but have come from some of the most diverse and neurodiverse minds that the world has seen to date. So it's important to acknowledge and celebrate the contribution of people with disability in our society. Is a highly valued commodity. I think that the timeliness of this conversation is that workplaces, schools, universities, all environments where we all interact and intersect every day need to acknowledge the importance of ensuring that the playing field that is being set is being made even, because everyone has the right to explore and have the conditions and the opportunities to succeed and pursue goals in life. But for many individuals with disability, because the conditions don't meet their needs to actually have the optimum conditions to thrive and achieve things in life, they often miss out. And the workplace is a classic example of that. Even last week in the Royal Commission hearing, we heard Rhonda Galbally talk about the importance of employers acknowledging and identifying and responding to individuals when there needed to be revisions and adaptations to conditions in the workplace. I think that, not to be negative and to be positive about what the opportunities are for people with disability, is that the world has seen massive change in the last 2 years, and probably it wouldn't have been possible this time 2 years ago to even consider or contemplate that businesses would be as adaptive and as flexible as they are now. So what I will say in ending this message is, for the businesses out there that have adapted their activities and made the workplaces more flexible in the last 2 years, that's an amazing achievement. Now you have a roadmap to actually ensure that your workplace can actually adapt, can respond, and can cater to all different types of people with all different types of needs. And to people with disabilities, this is a great opportunity in terms of the way that the world is working now, the way that employers are thinking, that the conditions are right for you to ask for certain conditions to be met, to take the opportunity to go for those jobs and to actually look at what's possible now in working environments. I called this action last year around making sure that businesses actively use the experience that we'd had out of the pandemic, and I hope that continues. As we tail out the year and as the world again returns to some more COVID normal practices, we look forward to seeing what happens in the years ahead around how the workforce and workplace environments evolve, and particularly around that importance of the divergence of thought and different thinking processes. There's some real value adds in terms of having people that think differently, that add different contribution, and that have different perspectives in life. We value that ourselves here at Specialisterne Australia, with 40% of our workforce identified as neurodiverse, so a real mix there. But happy International Day, people with disabilities. Season's greetings and a safe and happy new year to everyone, and we look forward to what is ahead in 2022. Thank you.